on. And I really don't want to do these kind of videos all the time. They wear on me, but man, it just has to be done because people are just so stupid out there. Listen to what this guy says in his video. He's a doctor, by the way. He has his own doctor. A doctor who has a doctor. He can't even diagnose himself. I said no to this. He says, I said no, and then this happened. Yeah, he wanted to take the flu shot. So this guy's name is drsuneeldhand. Dr. says, first time I declined flu shot. Here's what happened. I know what happened. You declined giving yourself a flu, and so you never got a flu again, right? Yeah, this is how stupid people are. I'm going to go get a flu shot. Listen to what you said. I'm going to go get a flu shot. Oh, you want to get a flu shot? You want to shoot yourself up with a flu? Oh, okay. And then you expect not to get flus? You gave yourself a flu, you dummy. Duh. But anyway.
Hi everyone, Dr. Suneeldhand, medical doctor. I want to share with you in this video what
He's a medical doctor, for God's sake.
happened when I decided not to take the flu
Look, I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that, but I have more brains than this guy not to shoot myself with a flu.
shot. Now, I've actually been waiting a few months to make this video. Obviously,
no
this
kidding.
is a decision that I made in the autumn, the fall of last year.
Right.
And I wanted to deliberately wait until the end of spring. So summer is now imminent, and I think that I'm better placed to judge what happened during the colder months. Because for many, many years, I have taken the flu shot. Going back to medical school, it was always encouraged, and I did it, I must admit, at the beginning.
Like a good little slave. It was encouraged, like a good little slave. Take a flu shot. Give yourself a shot so you could die sooner. Yeah. See, here's the thing. This is in hopes that you would die from the flu. Once they give you the shot, they're hoping you'll die from this shit, bro. That's the whole point. That it may turn into an pneumonia and you're dead.
Probably like most people, at the beginning of their medical career, I wasn't entirely
Well, I guess he hasn't died, so it worked completely, right? He survived. But a good majority of people, they get it, they don't survive, especially older people.
familiar with the data. And then going forward, I graduated as a doctor, moved from the UK to the United States, continued taking the flu shot. It is offered every single year. Obviously, I work in a healthcare environment, but I wasn't entirely comfortable with this. And I say that because for many years, I've been looking at data and looking at evidence on how effective the flu shot is, and it really isn't overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination. Am I saying that everybody should do what I did? Obviously not. Everybody should judge their own level of risk. Maybe people have extra reason to be more careful, vulnerable groups. I have a lot of family members who decide every year to take the flu shot, but I assessed my own risk and decided that this year I was going to forego the shot. So I signed a declination. I know many other people in healthcare who had been doing that for the last few years, but I thought I would
He had to sign for that? Oh my God.
continue because I've always taken the flu shot and it's never affected me in any way in terms of adverse events or side effects. I merely went, got the shot, and then carried on for the rest of that day. Usually I'd be working. But it didn't sit well with me, and those of you who have followed me for a long time know that I'm somebody who doesn't like taking any therapeutic. I am
Why? You're a doctor. Don't you believe in your own practice?
hoping that I will never require any prescription medications. And this was
Why? Why is that? Why is that? Because you know that it doesn't work, it'll kill you, that it's toxic?
one thing which I had just always done every year because that was what I had always done and would stand in line and get it
Like a good little peasant slave, yes.
done. So anyway, this year I decided, or rather at the end of last year, end of 2024, I decided, no, I'm going to sign a declination. I'm not going to get it done. I'm not convinced with the evidence behind its efficacy because I actually read science and I look at data. And I have to say that almost every winter I will come down with a mild flu-like infection. It might be a cold. I don't know. It would just get better within a few days, whether it was a virus, maybe a bacterial infection of the throat. You know, the usual thing that you would often get in the winter. I'd get something very mild. But anyway, that was a decision I made. So what happened? Fast forward to now. It is the end of spring, and drum roll, I can tell you that this is the first winter and spring season that I have never even got so much as one of those minor colds. No sore throat. I never felt unwell, didn't need to take
Why would you? You didn't take a flu shot, so why would you get any of those?
any days off work. I don't think I've done that really for a very long time anyway. And seriously, honestly, people can believe me or not, but I'm telling you the truth, hand on heart, means something to me. I did not even get a minor upper respiratory tract infection.
Yeah, because you didn't take a flu shot. Get it? That's why you didn't get the flu. They give you the flu. That's how they do it. They've done this for like since you were a child. They injected everybody with a flu virus to make them think they got flus, that they have viruses. You know, even history could be rewritten in a certain way, make you believe that, they brought these viruses and they killed off people. You know, they have to, how should I put it? They have to make you, prep you, get you ready for these diseases. They have to write it in history, in books and stuff, whatever, to make you believe that there's something out there that human beings carry these diseases. But meanwhile, it's to control population, to control you, to kill you, to get rid of you. Get it? And so, most likely, when you were a child, they injected you with the booster shot. Was probably part of the flu shot. They gave you a flu when you were a kid. They gave you polio. They gave you these booster shots. What's a booster shot? Listen to the word booster shot. Maybe it was the flu shot. Then they gave you the polio shot. You know, randomly, some people got polio. They still got polio. Why? I thought they took the polio shot. See, I had kids in my school. They got polio. They couldn't move around properly. I know many people got polio. No, not everybody got it, but some people got it because they injected them with polio. The booster shot, was that a mix of like the flu shot? Possibly. They gave you the flu. You never had it. It never existed. See, here's the thing. When they came to the New World, the ecologists, they said that these, what is it? They put this in these books. They say, oh, well, the Indians, they never had the flus and pneumonia. They never had these diseases like the colonists. But how do I know that? Those books were written recently, during the time when we already had these injections, when they started appearing. See what I mean? When did they end up in the history books? I don't know exactly. See what I mean? It's hard to say when they put these things in these books. I see these books, I'm not really sure. Where did these so-called diseases come from? I know we have chronic diseases from eating plants, but this so-called flu and all that kind of stuff is kind of odd when you think about it. I don't really know. I can't tell you for sure. Who the hell knows? But whatever the fuck they're doing out there, they're giving it to you. Here's the thing. When it came to the V19 jab, I don't know anybody that had it or got it anywhere, but they did get it when they got injected with it, because they injected you with the V19 jab. Get it? So you contracted it, and then people died. They died from it. The injection. What was the injection? The V19 jab. Get it? That's what they died from. So was it really out there? Was it a fake, a PD? Was it a fake pandemic? Maybe it was a fake pandemic. Who the fuck knows, bro? It could have been fake so they could give you all a jab. It's just like these other jabs they're giving you, and then they're prepping you. They're getting you ready for autism. They put out a movie like The Rain Man. The Rain Man comes out, they prep you and say, this is normal. This is normal. How about these people that don't know what sex they are? They're like transgender or whatever. They don't know what sex they are. Is this normal? Maybe it was part of the injection, the jab. They gave you the jab, and now it became normal. They try to normalize it in the school system. All these weird things that are happening to people, it's really odd, you know that? It's so odd, but whatever. Man, protect yourself out there. Be very careful. That's all I have to tell you.
And again, looking back, I don't think there's ever been a time I can remember when I didn't get one infection during the winter period. So the question is, why did I not get any infection, and could it be linked to not taking the flu shot? So
yes, absolutely. That's why.
Hi guys, Dan here with
I will say this. Scientifically, it might be a bit of a stretch to say, okay, I didn't take the flu shot and that made me well during the winter. I think that would be a stretch, but nevertheless,
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. You did it. You didn't inject yourself with the flu. That's why you didn't get the flu.
obviously, as somebody who tries to be scientific, I'm kind of putting two and two together. What changed this winter? Were my exposures different? Well, not really. I was working in hospitals. We were not
See?
wearing any masks in the hospital. I was surrounded by different bugs. I had family members and friends, close contacts who did come down with illness. What else did I do differently? Was there any difference in terms of my lifestyle? Well, maybe I worked out in a slightly different way. I would say during this winter, I probably went more all in on cardio and muscle strengthening than I have in previous years, which obviously is good.
That could weaken your immune system and increase the susceptibility maybe to this flu stuff. Who the hell knows? People always get sick when they say they get sick when they work out. I don't know.
For one's metabolic health. I also walked a lot outdoors during the winter, and I made a video about this.
See,
How
the flu shot, they give you the flu. That means it must weaken your immune system. It has to weaken your immune system. So you have a weakened immune system. You're opening a door. You're susceptible to whatever. And then I don't know, you could die. I don't know.
I would go for walks in the morning,
Yeah.
and it would kind of wake me up, the cold air against my face. I would wrap up warmly. I'm not saying everybody should do this,
Yeah.
but that was another thing that I did differently. Was there any change in my diet? Well, not so much. I had my usual diet, which combined food that is available in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
Asian food, Indian food, Far Eastern food. I would probably have that.
Very interesting, man. But there you go. I'm not going to go further with this video. That's enough. But you get the idea, friends. So be very careful what you're doing out there. I'll see you in the next video. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. The flu gives you the flu. The flu shot.